Now, there are some things out there that when you buy them, like it just doesn't stop at the purchase, but it actually just gets more and more expensive to actually own. It's like when you buy something and you figure out, yo, if I knew it was gonna be this expensive to own this thing, I probably would have never bought it in the first place. Now, as a joke, okay? A lot of folks say this about, for example, like having kids. You have a kid, I was be like, yo, this is so expensive, but you know, kids are a blessing, obviously, and I'm just making a joke, okay? But overall, some things you buy and you really do regret buying because of how expensive it can actually be. So in this video right here, I'm going to be putting down, for example, some money pits that you actually want to avoid and make sure you don't get yourself into in the first place. Okay, some things you don't want to buy because buying it will just keep taking money out your wallet, thus not have money in your investment. Now, as always, guys, do me a favor and smash the like button. I appreciate it a ton. Now, the first thing is going to be, for example, guys, luxury cars. Okay, fancy cars. I don't mean like Lamborghinis. You know, most folks can like afford that, but a lot of folks can afford a Mercedes, a BMW, a Porsche. Okay, these cars, although they are expensive, you can lease them, you can finance them, and most people actually do get into those type of horrific deals. But here are some of the facts most people don't know. If you buy, for example, a normal Toyota, like it's probably going to cost you like $441 a year on average to actually maintain. That's about $37 a month. That's it. To actually maintain between, for example, you know, like tire rotations, like getting the oil change, the filters, and so on, just about like $37 a month. That is it, okay? But whenever you're looking, for example, into a BMW, it goes from $441 like the Toyota all the way to $750 to $1,200. Mercedes $600 to $1,200, Range Rover about $1,258. Okay, so it can get very expensive to own these little fancy vehicles. So you want to be very careful. So whenever I'm looking for a car, I'm looking for something I actually like, that's reliable, that is safe, and that's not going to cost me a bunch of money when it comes to maintenance, okay? And by the way, cars that are like, for example, like Toyotas and Hondas and Mazdas, there are so many of them out there. There are so many parts for them. You can buy them for cheap whenever they break down, okay? That's the idea and that's the benefit. But having a luxury vehicle, it can actually be a massive money pit, especially when something important in that car actually tends to break down. Be very careful. Now, even, by the way, I know cars like a Mercedes, I think S550 class, something like that. It was like almost like 200K. You can find one right now for like $35,000, which is like a massive discount. But go ahead and try to repair that car when something does go wrong. It's gonna cost you a pretty penny. That's what I'm talking about. Like a battery replacement, it's expensive. You have, for example, something go wrong with the engine, expensive. So be very careful. Sometimes cheap is better until you're able to swallow all those losses when the time comes. Now, number two is going to be a house. A house can be one of the biggest money pits, especially when you can't afford it, because it kind of keeps you locked in. It's like a contract on your income for like 30 years if you're not careful, okay? So you're looking at when you buy a house, it's not like I just bought this home, that's it. No, everything from furniture, everything from insurance, taxes, repairs, remodels, HVAC, paint, and you know, the actual like interest of the loan and so on, and the actual time that's going to be attached to your income. That's why whenever you're trying to own a home, something that big, massive, expensive, the answer is you want to make sure you have a massive margin of safety. Meaning you're not buying a home that's more than a third of your monthly income, and that's also at least on a 15-year mortgage. This way you're able to put extra money to pay it off as fast as possible. But a house can be a massive money pit, especially when things go wrong with plumbing, electrical stuff, you know, whatever happens in that home, it is expensive to fix. When you walk into a home, you have to think about, for example, not, oh my gosh, someone's so nice, but in reality, everything in this house is just waiting to break at a certain point. And it's a massive true statement. Now, number three, guys, is going to be bougie friends. This is probably like a massive money pit. Having people around you that are only around you not because they personally make you spend money or they ask you for money, but they have a lifestyle that involves spending a lot of money, and then they're your friends, and then you want to be a part of the whole group. Well, that can lead you to overspending a bunch of money. And when you have a circle of bougie people or people that spend a bunch of money, most likely you are also going to take on those tendencies. But if you have a circle of people that are more frugal, you're most likely going to eat where they eat, and where they eat are basically like, you know, like normal Mexican restaurants and like cheap places and so on. So you want to be very careful with who you surround yourself with, because it can get very expensive very quickly. And sometimes a lot of those relationships are not really or genuine relationships, sometimes it's just more like a social group and not really genuine friendship. Although sometimes it can be, okay? That's why I'm being very careful with my wording here. Because you can have a bougie friend that's bad with money, but they're probably maybe a good friend too. So it's more like if you do have that type of friend, you got to talk to them about their money spending habits, try to help them, but you can't change them, okay? Because that's up to them to actually do. Now, number 4, I'm probably one of the bougiest people out of my friends group, and I'm not bougie at all. Okay, so that's to tell you something. You know, I'm the one that my friend would buy, for example, a 2011 like Honda CRV, and I might want, for example, a 2019 or 2018 Mazda, something like that. But I'm still looking for reliability, right? So there is that. But I'm not the one saying I want a Mercedes, I want a Lambo, you know, because that's just ridiculous and outrageous. But number 4 is going to be subscriptions. You know, this is like a massive money pit, and it's one of those like hidden money pits. So one thing that I would do is basically go on your phone and check your subscriptions, go on your credit card statements, your debit card statements, your banking statements overall, and see exactly what recurring charges you constantly have, and do you actually use these things. And also, not just that, even consider the ones that you do use, for example, like your internet bill, your cable bill, and actually ask yourself, for example, like, you know, these things, do I actually need them? Or is there a competitor that actually offers it for a cheaper price? You know, when I did this and I saw my phone bill was like $80, I was like, can I get it for cheaper? Yeah, get it for $30 with Mint Mobile. My phone bill, can I get it for cheaper? I could get like a promotion with Verizon for $40, okay, instead of paying $80. You know, so the answer is there are a lot of deals out there. So you have to be open to every now and then taking a look at what you're paying and looking for alternatives, and also just canceling a lot of things you basically don't need. I think the average person spends like $200+ in subscriptions every single month. That's money that could be invested and could be making you more money in the future. Now, number 5 is going to be bulk groceries. One of those like hidden money pits in a sense, and here's why. Because you think you're saving money by doing this. Like, I buy my things in bulk, I'm saving money. But in reality, when you buy something you don't need, you're not going to use, and you end up throwing it away, guess what? You just wasted money. So for example, the other day I went out and I bought some cheese. Random story, I know, but I bought some cheese and I bought like 2 little packs of cheese, and then all of a sudden I checked today and I'm like, yo, I finished this pack, but now by the time that this pack I need to use it now, it's already moldy. The bread is moldy, you know. So whenever I'm buying things, I'm not trying to buy things in bulk to save money. I'm trying to buy things I can actually use, right? Whether I even pay like just a little bit more money, but in the end, I'll save more money because it's not actually going to waste. That's the idea. So make sure whatever you're buying, you're actually using. If you end up buying things, having to throw it away, then reconsider what you're buying and just make adjustments. Now, number 6 is going to be shopping for things you don't need. Whether it's Amazon, Marshalls, tech stuff, AliExpress, just buying things overall that you don't need, probably like a big money pit too. One thing I do to manage this is I give myself like a little budget, $100, $200 per month for me personally, and I might just go crazy and buy me some random things on the internet that I actually just want to buy. But if you're not careful with this stuff, you could end up going into debt. You could end up, you know, just paycheck to paycheck type thing. Okay, so be very careful with this stuff, guys. But overall, those are some money pits that I try to avoid myself. Comment down below, let me know, do you have some yourself that you actually want to share in this video? This way I know, and maybe I can avoid them too. But thanks for watching. As always, guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified. Comment down below, that's like a, comment down below, below. So I know you made it all the way to the end of the video. Here is another video. Here's my face, and as always, long-term theme officially out. Peace.